Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal, Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said great. That was not a clickbait title. That is actually what this video is about. I wrote to some celebrities, whether it be directors, actors, anyone in the entertainment industry, athletes, singers, guitarists. I went on startiger.com, got, I think it's $5.95, so less than $6 a month, a subscription, which gives you access to many of the celebrities who I wrote to, their addresses that you can or that they respond to. It's also a really helpful website because it allows people like me and people that subscribe to update and say whether they got a response or if they got a response that said they expect cash or something like that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. 3 weeks before I left on my last trip, 20 people a week I wrote to. So what I do for mine is I send out 8x10s. I print them from home, so I buy a 100 pack of photo paper on Amazon for about $15 or $16. Then I buy a 100 pack of these, which are cardboard mailers. I like these because they prevent your photos from getting bent. You can get 100 of these for about $33. And then I also buy a 100 pack of these, which are 9x12. Or no, these are 10x13. This is 9x12 because this needs to be able to slide into that for you to send it off. So that's basically what I do. I buy 100 of these, they're about $30. So I've shown you videos before where I've bought grab bags from companies where you get 1 to 5 autographs, and those can be anywhere from $100 to $500. So this one came in about 200 bucks to send out to 60 people. And yeah, I used the resources online. I didn't write to people only if they respond. I wrote to people that I wanted a response from, so it could be anybody. If you want to participate, go on Amazon to buy your resources. I always use, if I'm sending 1 or 2 photos, I do 3 stamps out and 3 stamps back. This should always be your return. This should always be coming back to you. So I don't ever put a return address. I put the address I want it to come to, but I don't do like a if undeliverable, because I'm hoping that they'll just keep trying my address. So if I do anything more than 2 8x10 photos, and the reason I do that, I'll use 4 stamps each way. The reason I do sometimes more than 2 is not to be greedy, but you just never know what people are willing to sign and what they won't. Like with Francis Ford Coppola, I know that he generally will sign 1 per person. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 years to get it back. But that being said, I don't know if he'll sign a photo of himself or something from his project. So I sent a photo of him and a photo of the movie poster of The Outsiders. So hope you enjoy this vlog. Let's see who wrote us back. Daze with Jordan the Lion and you all. It begins right now. All right, let's start with the first envelope. You know, it's crazy. I have been gone for a month and a half and I got very few of these back. I was kind of shocked at how few I got back, but I'm grateful for the people that have returned them. I haven't been sending out many because I just, you know, I've sent so many. I've run out of people I can think of that I want, that I've, you know, that I haven't either had a success or a failure from. See who we got. Tommy Chong. Great. I just sent this off, I guess a month ago when I was last home, because I had just gotten this signed by her at the convention, and I ended up getting Chong to sign it. So that's great. Now I just need Cheech to sign it. And she kind of signed over his part, but that's all right. He'll be able to sign it. Hoping I can get him, and I also have an LP that I met Chong in person and he signed for me, so I need to get Cheech on. Chong is very good about signing. And also, if you haven't seen, if you're a Cheech and Chong movie, go watch the last movie that they just put out. It's a documentary about their whole career, and it's really fascinating. Really fascinating. All right, I can't wait to see who this one is. I keep hoping I'll get one from like a year ago or whatever, but that one was a recent one. We'll see what happens. Maybe this one will be one of like the very first ones I ever sent out. We'll see what happens. This one is, oh, awesome! This was a recent one that I sent off also. I sent it a while ago, probably 6 months ago, and Rob Reiner had signed it up here for me. But right now, Michael McKean is, for a limited time, on Broadway in 12 Angry Men, and he's also David St. Hubbins, and he signed it in gold right there. Check that out. How cool is that? Can you see it? That is killer. So now I just need to get these two guys, Derek and Nigel. We'll see what happens. Those are some tough ones, but that's a nice piece. Thank you so much, Michael McKean. The last one of these that I made, I had sent him a photo from Spinal Tap as well, and one from Laverne and Shirley, and just kind of testing the waters to see if he would sign stuff. And he did, so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to send the one that Rob Reiner sent and see what happens. Now, as you guys know, I will also do these things that you can buy online that come signed from your reputable companies. So this was actually a book that I pre-ordered, I want to say back in October of 2024. And this, if you pre-ordered it through, oh gosh, who was it? Was it Barnes & Noble or Premier Collectibles? I forget. Let me see, maybe it'll have a clue, because I know that's the only thing I have coming. So, this is Premier Collectibles, I believe, so it's kind of, thank gosh they put it in plastic, because it feels like part of the plastic is like glued to the, the packaging. But, yeah, nice. It is a signed book of Steve Martin's new book. I've been trying to get Steve Martin's autograph for years and to no avail. In fact, I wrote him a fan letter one time to a P.O. box. I wish I would have kept the response, because I sent the photo of inside of his album, the one where it's him in the white suit with the fishes coming out of the front jacket pocket, and it says Best Fishes. I sent that, and I got a response back, like a Post-it note on top of it, and it says, it's already signed. And I was like, what? And I probably should have kept it, because it was probably Steve Martin playing a joke, saying like, you know, oh, because it did have a pre-printed signature of him on there. But I wonder if maybe the gag was like, here's my handwriting on the Post-it note. I don't know, but this at least they guaranteed me, unless he pulled another fast one on me and didn't sign this. There it is. It looks like he just did S. Martin, so no Steve, nothing like that. But nice thing about these is that if you buy the ones that come from Premier Collectibles or Barnes & Noble, this could have been Barnes & Noble, I'm not sure. I buy them from both of them. You know, they guarantee that these are signed by the people, and you can actually take that page right out, find a photo of them that you like, and do your own framing and do a nice cutout piece if you're that kind of collector. So this is definitely an LP, and I think I know what this is, because I can only think of one thing that I ordered. It was quite a while ago. I was kind of wondering when it was coming. I think this also, maybe I ordered back in October. If it is what I think it is, who knows? I guess it could be a book, but looks like we're in the world of LPs, so there's my personal information. Let me get that out of there. That is the new Garbage album. garbage is kind of an amazing thing, because I love Butch Vig, who is the drummer of this project, and it's really his project, but it's him and his friends, and he's a really famous record producer, and he ended up getting all the people that he'd always worked with and could trust to put together a band, and that's Garbage. And this is supposed to be signed. It's supposed to come with a signed insert by all the members. So Butch Vig, if you're not familiar with his producing, he produced some of my favorite records, actually. But off the top of my head, the ones that he did were like Smashing Pumpkins. He did Nirvana Nevermind. So if you're an autograph collector, it's kind of cool to have something signed by all of them. And there it is. That's a beautiful piece also. Actually, the whole package is really nice. Because look at the LP. Wow, huh? Very nice. The Breathe LP. But there it is, beautifully signed by all of them. Wow. There's Shirley Manson, Butch Vig. So you got all the guys on there. And it was crazy because I read about his studio and I fell in love with the story as how Butch Vig got it started. So I went to Madison, Wisconsin, and I did a whole vlog about the building, and just as I was wrapping up, because I was showing where he used to be located and then where it was located when he was making all the real magic that we know him for. And as I was wrapping up my video, the girl who lives there now came out and said, hey, do you want to come in and take a look around? And you can tell how it's still divided up like that studio. And I saw recently on her Instagram that Butch was back in town with the band, and that the band all came by her place and popped in, and she let them all in and to go in and have like that moment. So it's really cool. I'm glad I got this, and it wasn't very expensive. I want to say it was like 35 bucks. So kind of a nice thing. Oh no, I think that's Shirley Manson's autograph. I'm not sure. I'm looking at it upside down, so. Anyway, beautiful. So the next thing that we're going to take a look at, how do I even put this away? The next thing that we're going to look at, I presume what it is, it's still in its packaging, but this is a big one for me. It's we're going to be finishing up a real heavy piece, if it is what I think it is. Some people you just almost never have a chance to meet. And one of those people is Sylvester Stallone. He's very, very hard to meet. And Sylvester Stallone also doesn't really you know, you can meet him on the street somewhere if you're lucky enough to, and he is nice enough. He will sign one autograph I've seen, but the chances of finding him, since I don't live in Los Angeles anymore, actually I don't even know if he lives in Los Angeles anymore, but at any rate, he's done one that I know of signing in the last several years. He did it for 2 companies on the same day. So if you're trying to find something authentically signed from like Rocky or one of those movies like Rambo, it's always best to go through a company that you know, actually photographed him. So I purchased a belt. I bought a Rocky belt that was already signed with photo proof at the time of Sylvester Stallone signing the belt. So when I purchased it, it came beautifully signed by Stallone. I decided, because there are two different variances of this belt. There's one version that has Rocky, and it has all of the people that he faced in championship bouts in the movies. So you had Clubber Lang, you have Drago, and you have Apollo Creed. And then they had a version where it had Adrian, Mickey, and I believe Paulie and Rocky. So it's a different style of belt, but me being a Rocky fan and being a huge Mr. T fan, actually I'm a fan of all of the characters in the movies. I wanted to try and take on doing a Rocky belt. Since Stallone had already signed this one, I had went ahead and purchased it. I'll unwrap it so you guys can see it. When I got it, Stallone had signed it. And right here, I guess this is where we want to take it off. And when I got it, I immediately looked up signings for the other guys that I needed. So here, I'll just show you this way. Gosh, that looks horrible. Let me just rip it open. I'll replace all this. It's just a pain otherwise. So when I got it, it was signed by Stallone. Authentically signed by Stallone. It comes with a photo of him signing it. Now, the thing about these belts is that Mr. T does not do autograph signings. So getting Mr. T, you couldn't buy a belt completed like this because Mr. T would not do autograph signings. I, in fact, asked one of the companies that authenticates how often they knew of him doing signings, and they said they had offered him $100,000 for a sit-down signing, and he refused it. So I had got Carl Weathers in a vlog, so I had Rocky, and I had Carl Weathers, and Carl Weathers actually charged $300. He knows what he usually did when he was alive was, if you bought an 8x10, it was $75 from him. But if you brought your own 8x10 or you brought any other item, it was $300. So he knew if you're a Rocky fan and you want that autograph, you'll pay it. So I had to. It made the belt worth more having him on it, obviously. So then I had to track down when Dolph Lundgren was going to be at a convention. And I planned on going to one convention that Dolph Lundgren was doing. And he ended up having to cancel it. So then I found another one and I managed to get Dolph Lundgren. So now we have Dolph. We have 3, but of course, like I said, Mr. T has never done a signing. Well, that all changed recently because they announced that he was going to be doing his first ever signing at the Dallas Comic Convention. And a fan of mine, and I actually consider him a friend, heard about that and decided to fund me finishing this belt. And he actually sent me enough money that would more than pay for an autograph for Mr. T to complete this belt and enough to actually pay for a hotel room and the trip to Dallas, and said, hey, I don't know if you're able to make it or not, or if you want to send your belt in and get it finished, but I'd like to go ahead and help you make that happen. So I wanted to thank him. Peter, that was very, very nice of you. And I wanted to show everybody that I got it back. What I did was I took everything into account and I just decided to send it in. It was actually, all in all, it was $600 to have him sign 3 letters on here, MRT, and finish this beautiful belt. But that's what they charge. I didn't have a choice, but it is done. And since that's the only signing that he's done and may only do, and I have to consider the fact that when I met Carl Weathers, he died months later, like very shortly after I met him. I have to consider that was my only chance I could probably ever finish this belt. So I went ahead and thanks to Peter for making that gesture. You know, I probably would have done it anyway, but it was so nice of someone that watches me that knows I had a passion for a project like this, and that they wanted to help make it happen and help. And that was a huge expense to put into something like this. So it's done. Like I said, I got it authenticated, so now the whole thing is authenticated, and wow, It's maybe one of the few of these that even exists. I can't imagine, you know, I'm sure some other people had the same idea and have been working on one of these belts themselves and finally got Mr. T on there, but wow, what an end to quite a journey. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you all for watching. That is maybe like one of the crowning jewels of my collection right there. Have a great night, everyone. Goodbye.